Okay, we're getting ready to put the motor together. So we had the crank done yesterday, actually this morning. So time to work on this thing. So I'm getting an early start on it here. It's 11:30 at night. So I gotta have it done by tomorrow. So it's a good time to start on it. Too many interruptions today. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing together. Everything's already pre-fitted, so if you watch the other videos, you'll see that. Oh, the only thing I didn't do was I didn't clean up that hole in there. Look how corroded that hole is. Yep, that's where that bolt can come out. And it matches the bolt, probably. I think it was this one. Or it was this one. It was this one. I recognize the crappy finish. See, that's a big hole there, so then it's not tight on that part. Looks like it's only tight from here to here, but it was really tight. Right there is where it's tight. So we need to get that freed up a little bit so I don't have to beat the hell out of it to get it in and out. So that's what we're going to have to finish first thing before we move on. Here, I was all ready to put the motor together. I already got an interruption. Didn't take long. Alright, so we've got to figure out which size this is and clean it up. Should be 5/16. Yep. Couple thou under. It's real tight right there. Try over under reamer on there. 5/16. 311.5. It's 1 thou under 5/16. This is what size? Is that around? About 310.5. So this should make it loose. Ideally, you want to have a little bit of a press fit on it. Not much though. So just let the weight of the reamer do it. You can see all the powder coming out. I see corrosion coming out, but not, there's no aluminum. Okay, it went all the way through. There we go. Almost looks like there's aluminum in there now. Alright, so that should make it work a lot better than it did. Fits now. Okay, we still got the corrosion on the bolt, which is still a little bit of buildup, probably a thou at most, but it's built up. So most of the corrosion was in the case, it looks like. Alright, so that took care of that problem. So now I should be able to put this thing together without beating on it with a sledgehammer, like we had to take it apart, which was not good. So that was. Get it all cleaned up. Alright. I want to do this dry. I'm going to push this together with the spacer it had, I think. I'm going to do it dry so we'll see how much press fit it has on it. Got our installing tool right here. I'm going to go over there and work on that. I'm doing it dry, so we're going to pull this thing back apart again. It should be quicker doing it this way than cleaning it and getting oil and you have to do it around it. Can't tell that much when it's full of oil anyway. Around. So it feels a little bit out of round. Alright, so I'm going to go press this out on the press down there. We'll check it again. It needs to be loosened up just a tick. It's a little bit, it feels out of round, so it's tight, loose, tight, loose. There's definitely something going on there. I'm not sure what it is, so we'll play with it. So. That's why I didn't put oil on it. Good time not to drop the crank. So before it drops, you got to hold it up in the bottom. All right. Pull it off. Put it back on a stand over here, see. Go. Pull off the spacer. Spacer off. Yeah, we're over there. And over here now. Back and forth. Pull out my hoard. This is my hoard. I should have a hoard of everything. Alright, let's see what dimension this is. Appears to be about 106. Grab a 107. See how big a 107 actually is. 106 3/4. To 107. Seven and a half on that one. 7 1/4. Another 7 1/4. 7 1/2. So this is our small one. So it's right out to 7. This one's like 5 3/4. Pull out our 6s, see if we got something close to 6 3/4. Oops. Nope. Nope, nothing different. Either that one or way bigger. I'll go with that one. A bunch of them in the 5s. 5 is a very popular number that I don't use. Tell by how many I have. 5 1/2. 5. 1/4. 5 1/2. And this one was what? 5 3/4. Okay, I'm going to try the bigger one here. This time I'm going to lube it up, so I don't have to take it apart again if it feels good. Just going to put a little bit of assembly oil on it. Lube up the bearing over here. And we lube up this bearing here. Kind of important. So you put it on top of the bearing like that. Hold the center, rotate the outside, and it gets wet. The oil kind of soaks in there a little bit. And lubes it. Too loose. Yeah, too loose. Too much of a jump. But I didn't sell the one I sure had, so it's either this or the other one. It's definitely out of round. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can definitely hear it. So right here, rotate it around and you loose. Turn it 90 degrees. It's loose now. Definitely looser that way. See, a little tighter this way. And it gets loose again. The rollers. Tipkins will slowly tighten up on you if you keep going back and forth. See how they quit moving? They wedge down. Alright, so it's too loose. I'm going to take it back apart and change it out again. We're going to put the old one back in there. Now, it might be the oil kept the roller up so I felt the clearance. Before I couldn't feel the clearance because the roller dropped down. That might be what was going on. Because it felt good in one spot and it was tight in the other spot. So, like the case is out around. So maybe that's an illusion. way to find out. Put the old one back in it. And we'll find out. This is in my way. We're going to do it from this direction this time. It's getting heavier. Okay. All right, we're back. So this time we're taking this one out. It's all wheeled in there now. And we're going to change it out for the one that we took out. Put this old one back in. Now you notice the old one, because it won't go on the shaft, is tight. Because it's bent. There you go. Make sure you put one rod per hole, not double them up. Somebody woke up Scooby. What are you doing, Scooby? What? Did they wake you up? Did they wake you up down there? There goes Scooby. You back again? You just left. Fine. He's wandering. Scooby's wandering. What are you doing, Scooby? Did they wake you up? That rat run across your chest? Alright. So this is just a matter of pulling this down. Tighten it up. Rotate it around, feel it. It's definitely loose. Without the grease on there, or the oil, it gave me a false tight. Without the oil, the rollers didn't stay up, they just dropped right down and gave you it felt like it was tight. See, it's tighter this direction. Take it one turn and it gets looser. So when you rotate, the rollers go back up again. Alright, so he's already got a racing fit on here, which is good. Which I didn't feel on the first go around. See, I usually always have them oiled up when I check them. I guess there's a reason why I do it that way. I'll have to remember that next time. Don't run them dry. False numbers. So it's trying to speed it up. All I did was slow it down. See, I could have been like this already first shot and saved 10 minutes. Oh well. Live and learn. That's how you learn all this crap. Just gotta remember what you're doing last time. So, what not to do. Where's my 7 at? There it is. And then you put your washers back where they go. They're bagged and in order, see. Wipe that down one more time. Gotta keep your table clean. If you can't eat on it, you can't assemble a motor on it either. Getting heavier and heavier each time I work on it. Put your tools away when you're done with them. Keep them right in front where you can get to them, right on the wall, see? Okay, now we're going to put the oil, or the bearings on here. And we got to check the fit on that, lubricated. Okay, one of these washers goes first. You can usually tell which one it is by the wear marks. See how this one has almost no wear on it? That goes in first. This one here has a snap ring mark here and a snap ring mark here. Yep. Go ahead and lube up the shaft. Take your washer. On top of the bearing so the cages stay on the bearing when you turn it sideways and shove it in. Otherwise they fall off on you. Okay, that's how they're supposed to be. Now he was using the Evo style heavy duty ass clip on here instead of the correct one, which is a little thin snap ring that goes all the way around. You don't need this on this early one, but it's what he had on it. So we'll put it back. These are kind of a pain in the ass to put on there because it's so stiff. And we'll make it work. Once it's on, just slide it. Make sure it's in the groove. It is. They're a lot easier going on than coming off. So you want to make sure it's all the way in there, all the way around. Like I say, you move it. I slid it from here over there. Make sure it was in there. You want to make sure you got clearance on your parts here. We don't have much. We have a little bit. If there's any drag on the roller here, it won't let it slide. So it won't rotate like it's supposed to. So no drag. Drag is bad. What's going on here? Camera's coming apart. Camera repair. I got it plugged in all the way last night or this morning. Okay, now we're going to take our oil and lube it. Lube up the bearing. Do the same thing on the case race. And the bearing while we're in here, cam bearing. Okay, now we're going to check the bearing fit. Now we already checked this before, but now we're going to do a full assembly this time. Make sure you got some good jiggle on this. The higher the RPM the motor is, the more jiggle you need. Okay, you go all the way down, you come up a little bit and you jiggle it. Hear it? It's about the same as the flywheel is on the other side. You got a good amount of movement. That means both sides of the flywheel can flex and move around and it won't be tight in the case. If it gets tight in the case, it'll break the case all out through here, knock the inserts loose in the case, cause all kinds of problems. That's what knocks out these inserts over here. Either being real tight or the crank being really loose and just bouncing all over the place. Usually it's too tight. So the flywheel can't flex when it gets out of true. It tears up the motor. Being loose usually won't cause that problem. Unless it's really bad. The crank is going to have to be hitting on the side of the case to cause a problem. Okay, we're going to use my 3-bond sealer. That's the number there if you don't remember. Everybody asks me what I use for chemicals. This will be that same kind of gray stuff that I took off the case earlier. So I just put a little dab on my finger, like that. And then we put it on the case. You want just a nice, even, thin coat. Don't need tons of it on here, just a little bit. You don't need to put half a tube all the way around the damn thing, that's just stupid. That just puts crap everywhere inside the motor we don't want it. It's alright for car motors that nobody gives a shit about, but not a Harley motor. You basically just want a good thin prime coat, that's all you need. You do both sides of the case halves, a little bit on each side. When you bolt it together, it squeegees out whatever it doesn't like, and that's all it needs. There's one. Now this side here we have the lip right here, so you want to make sure you got it squeezed up into the lip. Just like the other side, you want to get it primed on the surface. You also want it in the lip there a little bit. Closer, you can see what's going on here a little bit. There's a technique to everything. So, a little bit on your finger, like that. You got your lip right here. Squeeze it up in there, and squeeze it on over. If there's anything on the inside of the case, wipe it up. There's a nice even coat all around. You got a little extra fluid right in the corner. There's a receiver lip on the other case, so when you put it together, it'll fill in the void over there and give you a good seal. see any dry spots, come back and put a little bit right on the dry spot. This stuff doesn't like stacking on top of itself, so try to make it a nice good shot first time. Everyone's concerned about getting their fingers dirty or their hands dirty. How much dirty do I got? It's on one fingertip. When you're all done, you just wipe it off like this. See, it comes off pretty quickly. See, it rubs off. Same thing happens in the case. If it gets inside the motor, it just kind of rubs and goes away. See, no buildup on the finger, none there. Just kind of pulverizes itself and disappears. Same deal. Okay, now we just lay it on top of the case. I stick it on to get a little bit of rotation back and forth, and then I put all the bolts in it. Give it a little squeegee. Just a little bit back and forth is all you need, not much. And we put all the bolts in here. Even though this one went on top. Most of these bolts come in from the left side. Of course, we're on the right side. Okay, you gotta figure all the bolts go. The short one here goes in the very back, right here. Goes like that. So all these other ones are the same length. Doesn't really matter where they go then. But the nuts usually stick through that other side because the primary is on this side. Drop my damn towels. Nice plug fit. It's good for centering. There you go. This one here goes on right here. Got the alternator plug on it. And this one here goes down here in the corner. Right there, and tightens up that one. Now we put all our nuts on here. Nuts and washers. Okay, washers. We're running out of washers. I don't think this one had a washer on it because it went right on here. So obviously plenty of room for a washer. I don't think it had one on there though. There's a way I don't see a washer. Got an acorn nut though. Wonder where that went. Keep dropping my nuts. Probably get a few comments about that statement, huh? See, all that water's got everything all rusty. He likes to clean his bike a lot, so a lot of corrosion on everything. That's why I don't like using water. Alright, so they're all in there now. Use my zip gun. Okay, you want to tighten the bottom two first, they're your galling studs. Just lightly on that one. Come over here at this one. Tighten it up good. Come back over here, tighten this one up good. And this here is the other one's the dowel stud, so you tighten this one up. Bottom's out. There had to be some kind of a washer on this stud. Onto the floor. So we have no washer here. Get a lock washer. Maybe that's what he had on it. He might have had a lock washer on there. This side's more torn up. Whether he had the Allen on the inside or outside, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Could always play the video back, but this is easy to the inside so you don't look at it. This is the outside. I'm going to guess he had a lock washer on it. It tightens right up when you do that. Okay, so we got 3 parts. The case tightened up, so now the whole thing should be able to tighten up. Next thing I do is the 2 bolts. Then we got the 3 studs left. This one, and this one. Usually I go to this one. And the back one. And this front one last. If you want to check the torque, you can check torque. It's tight. It's not moving. I know my wrenches, so it doesn't move. It's torqued. Use a piece of crap zip gun. Probably should retorque them. I got a good zip gun, so I don't have to. Okay, so now we can either wipe this off, or we can let the customer do it later, or do it now. Doesn't really matter. It's a little bit messy no matter which way you do it. Use a good towel as it works. As you wipe it, get it off the rod. I don't like it being on the rod for obvious reasons. You don't use this kind of a towel. I don't like this. It doesn't work very well. Microfiber piece of crap, I guess. Doesn't have enough rubbing action. It just slides back and forth like a felt instead of digging in like a piece of cloth would. So it sucks. It doesn't work. Here's a towel here, but this is not quite bracing up, but it's better than the other thing. Shop rags work pretty good. They're more like a canvas bag is what you're trying to get. See, it wads up and comes off in pieces. See? You don't want to drop that in your motor though, so you got to be careful. Okay, so when you clean this, you want to make sure the case halves are pretty flat. They should be matched up almost perfectly. A lot of times they're not, but they should be pretty close. Okay, next thing I do, I get the motor mount area, because I care about that being flat. Alright, so those are the important steps are done. Everything else is cosmetic after this. So if you want to take the cosmetic stuff off, you go like that, just rub it off. Comes off pretty easy. Try this fancy towel, see if it works any better. Probably a little cleaner. Alright. You can use a little bit of brake clean on there if you want. It's whatever works for you. I try to wipe it straight up and down so it comes off in an even piece. It makes it a lot easier to clean up because you're not making such a big mess. Switch over to this one, see if it does a better job. Yeah, not really. Just not quite as dirty. Alright. Take the dirty rag, wipe off the big chunk of it. It comes off in a nice big piece. Got a piece on my rag, made a bigger mess. Alright. What's nice about the 3-ball, though, it kind of matches the case, so you don't really notice it too much, the gray. If it's on a black case, you would notice it, though. Pretty obvious. Alright. Looks pretty clean overall. Got a dirty workbench here, though. Most of that came off pretty quickly. Couple spots right here a little slower. Some more elbow grease. A little bit right there, didn't want to come off. Everything else is pretty good. So if you hit a little bit of brake clean right there, it'll knock it right off easily. Or just use a little bit of solvent for my case. And very little there, you can barely even see it. File will take it off though. Done. Alright, good enough for that. Alright. Now you make sure the crank turns over. Should be nice and free. The next thing I look at the pinion shaft and I rotate it again. Kind of block it so it doesn't rattle around like this. And you're looking for any kind of a bounce in the shaft. It should be going perfectly straight. Looks pretty straight to me. Because if it moves right now, it's bad. So, all right, so that all looks good. Last thing I do is put the seal in over here. So we've already cleaned up the case for a spacer earlier. Need a seal. Need a seal. Need a seal installer. That'd be a 2-inch coupler and a nice 2-pound hammer, or 2.5-pound hammer. I think it's 2.5. So this I machined flat on this surface, and I just beat the hell out on this side. I cut all the rust and shit that was on this side. This was a used one. I didn't buy a new one. I'm gonna waste money on good parts, right? Okay, so we take a little bit of oil, put it inside the seal here. So the seal's not dry. It's not too many seals. You want it to be a dry. You got the spacer right here. You just kind of push the seal in at an angle. Get the sliping real easy. You want to make sure the spacer and everything is on, or the spacer, the darn spring is all the way around the thing, not broken or off. It sticks up like that. Now you just slide on into the shaft, and you beat it in with a hammer, and you'll be fine. So just push it in the coupler, tap with the hammer a little bit. Just kind of working in a little bit at a time as you go. It's not down all the way yet. You see how it's working in pretty evenly. Just kind of work it around. It's a little bit higher on this side than this side, but no big deal. It's going in. So just go until it hits all the way. You'll hear it when it hits the bottom. Now we're not hitting very hard, just light hits. And the last thing you do is push the spacer all in, like that, and make sure everything works freely. Crank spins inside the spacer because it's not tight, just like it should be. Okay, and that's how you put the seal in there if you want to keep the oil in the motor. Harley likes putting the seals in backwards so the oil stays out of the motor. I like the oil to stay in the motor, not get out of the motor. No, that's what I think seals are for. Contain the oil, not let it go everywhere. Harley has their theories. They're very good ones too. Okay, so that's how you do all that. Wipe off the excess oil if you want, so it don't get full of dirt. And you're good to go. Now you could put the rotor on right now. Here. But if you do, it's just going to rattle and make noise, so I leave it off until we're done with it. So we're going to leave this off for now. Okay, that's it for now. Let me get this cleaned up, move on to something else.